Hello, hello. So let's get started for this intention activation session. We are Monday, 13th of April. It's nice and sunny outside in Dublin, Ireland, which is unusual. But great for the mood. So I hope wherever you are listening, you're also having a nice day. And let's get started by giving ourselves a stretch like we usually do. So if you can, just close your eyes and make yourself comfortable. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms, stretch your head and neck. Any movements that feels good, and try to be very present to all of these movements as a way to already bring yourself into the body. Then once you feel you've stretched enough, find your comfortable position, sitting down preferably, if you can, with your feet flat on the floor. And then bringing your attention into your feet. Bringing your attention into your feet, noticing the weight of your feet on the ground. Like for people who just joined, we've just had a little stretch. We're just making ourselves comfortable with our feet, sitting down with our feet flat on the floor. Noticing the weight of our feet on the floor. Connecting with the earth underneath. Bringing your awareness into your connection with the earth. And then slowly we're going to bring our attention and focus back into the area of our chest, and more specifically the middle of our chest where our heart is. And here you can either touch the area of your heart with one hand, or else tune in to listening or sensing your heart beating in your chest. Being sensitive to the inner sounds, inner sensations of your own heart. And then once you're experiencing this connection with your heart, you can imagine or visualize as if your breath is flowing in and out directly through your heart center. Here you are still breathing as naturally as you can through your nose. You can still feel your belly expand and contract as you breathe in and out. But you just imagine as if your breath flows in to your heart when you breathe in and flows out through your heart when you breathe out. And now we're just gonna harmonize the rhythm of our breathing by just breathing a little bit slower and a little bit deeper than we usually do. And finding a nice steady rhythm, steady and comfortable, breathing in and out without holding your breath anywhere. Just keep breathing in a rhythm that's comfortable but steady. Keep visualizing your breath flowing in and out through your heart. And we'll do this for another minute together in silence. And you might notice starting to feel a bit calmer, a bit more peaceful. This is normal with this slow deep breath. And we're gonna take advantage of this more quiet space to ask ourselves, to remind ourselves of the vision and goals that we have for the future. So just remind yourself, what's your vision for your life, if you're clear on it. Maybe your vision for the next few years or your vision for the next few months. Your goals, what's important to you. Just what you're intending to achieve in the future for yourself, in your life. In an ideal world, this is what you want. This is where you would like to head. So just remind yourself of that. The direction that you're aiming for in your life for your future. And once we've done that, we are going to compare the recent past, what worked well, what didn't work well for us last week. And then we'll have a sense whether we are already on a trajectory that seems aligned with our future vision, or if that trajectory needs a bit of adjustment. So let's move on to our recent past contemplation. So I'm going to invite you to imagine for a moment that you're able to turn toward the past as if you're able to elevate yourself, as if you're able to float above time, above your timeline, and float above last week, just last week. Just noticing what happened in your life last week. And that can be in the main area of your life that is important to you at the moment. Maybe you're extra focused on work or on relationships, or whatever it is that goes on for you right now. But otherwise, just be curious about all the areas of your life that are important to you. And imagine that you're able to objectively notice, remember everything that last week worked well in a sense that it did bring you satisfaction. It did produce the results you wanted. And also the things that didn't work as well as you hoped for, in a sense that you didn't enjoy or you didn't get the results that you wanted. So just notice, on one hand, what works well already, what you want to nurture, what you want more of, what you want to expand on. And on the other side, everything that happened that you would want less of, that you would want to course correct, to let go of, to change. And maybe you will remember things in a very structured, chronological way. Or else it might feel like you don't remember anything at first and then random events seem to come back to you. There is no right and wrong, just go easy on yourself, just follow the flow. Sometimes my mind just wanders from one thing to another, one thing that worked well, one thing that didn't. Some things pop into my head that I had already forgotten. There is no right or wrong, so whatever way it happens for you. And you might want to also pay attention to outcomes. And sometimes we are hoping for results and they don't happen. If that's the case, just make sure that you also consider the journey that brought us to the outcome that wasn't the one you wanted, and make sure that you're not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Sometimes the outcomes don't work out, but the journey was very pleasant and enriching. So notice if sometimes that happens. You put some efforts into something, everything seemed in the flow, and you learned a lot, it was enjoyable. And in the end, the very last part of it, the outcome wasn't the one you wanted. Just because the outcome wasn't there doesn't mean there were not satisfying things in the journey that you want more of. So pay attention to this. And similarly, sometimes you get great outcomes, but pay attention that maybe if the journey was very painful, took a lot out of you, was draining, maybe it's a lesson as well on some things that you actually don't want more of in your life. So just notice. And we'll do this for another minute or two in silence before moving on to the next part. Okay, one more minute. Contemplating what worked well or what didn't work as well as you wanted last week. Okay, now to conclude this part of our contemplation, we're just going to ask ourselves this question. If last week, or a version of last week, was to repeat itself over and over into the future, would it bring us closer to our vision for our future? Or does it look like it might be bringing us off track? So here, just get a sense, if you'd imagine that the trajectory that you're on, based on what happened last week, the trajectory that you're on, is it pointing towards the vision, the goals that you have? Or is it a little bit off, or is it a lot off track, I mean? Just get a general sense. And sometimes it might be pointing in the right direction, but somehow it feels like it's too slow, or it's a little bit that it's not moving even, that it's stationary. So just notice what it is for you. Does it need some, is it already going the right direction, but it needs some momentum? It needs a bit of speed? Or is it not even pointing on the right direction? And if that's the case, no judgment, just welcome this information with open arms, because based on it now, we're going to start to course correct. And to do that, and that's actually the fun part of this meditation, we're going to invite our imagination to play. And we are going to imagine a version of the week that is starting today, 13th of April, 2026. Let's imagine a version of this week with best possible scenarios, best possible outcomes, most enjoying interactions and processes and journeys. And to do that, I suggest that we always start by imagining ourselves first. So if you don't mind, put a little bit of imaginative effort into imagining yourself when you're at your best of mental, emotional state, how you're feeling inside, and how it projects outside of you, your moods, your ways of being, you're positive, you're motivated, excited. And you know that in that state, you're making decisions with ease and you're taking action with passion, excitement, but also efficacy. You're making things happen. So when you're like this, when you're in such a state, when you're in a flow of creative and productive energy, what is happening? What does the week look like, sounds like, and feels like? It means that everything that's in your direct control gets done. So what does it look like for you? Just notice everything that you're making happen, that you're creating. Ideas, new ideas being implemented, maybe old ideas being implemented too, maybe projects that were halfway through are getting another kick and coming to fruition. Can mean like, the satisfaction of a to-do list crossed over. And how does it feel when you're in such a flow? Maybe more things happening during the day, or happening more strategically means you have more time in the evening for quality time with your family, your loved ones, your friends. Maybe it means more time for personal projects that are important to you. And then once you imagine yourself in such a way and everything that you're getting done and creating as a result, of course you notice, that you're not living on a desert island. There's loads of other people around you. So let's shift into imagining, noticing what that means for all of these connections. You being in a flow, how does that impact and influences circles of people around you? How does your flow positively impact your loved ones, your family, your circle of friends, but also maybe the people you're working with, your colleagues, your teams, maybe your clients. And beyond that, the people that you don't know, but that you end up meeting in everyday life, strangers in the street, people working in the shop, people serving you at restaurants. How does you, in such a flow of positive, creative energy, how does that impact those people? You can imagine here a chain of positive side effects, a ripple effect of positive flow from you to other people. So you can imagine how they react, you can imagine how it might maybe inspire them, and how in turn it might impact their life in a positive way. And this might not be something that you can imagine in details, but you can imagine or visualize as if there is a wave of positivity that runs from you through other people, and from these people through another wave of other people that you don't know. It's like each layer of souls, each layer of people is then in turn impacting positively another circle. And that's how more and more and more people are positively impacted. So if you don't know how it impacts people, you can imagine just this wave of positive energy going through layers and layers of other people, how it might impact their lives, their communities. Just knowing that the beginning of the flow was you shifting yourself, you contributing to this wave spreading. And now allow yourself to imagine what might come out of all of this. As you've generated a flow of positivity in your life that impacted lives of many others in direct and indirect ways, what might come back in terms of opportunities, synchronicities, possibilities? Maybe some doors are opening, some decisions are being made that benefit you and other people. Just imagine what it could look like. Decisions being made that benefit everyone. Projects being created, being initiated that open doors for you and other people. What might that look like in your life this week? Just allow yourself to dream and imagine. It could be an unexpected phone call with the good news. Could be a job offer that you're discovering. That's exactly what you'd been looking for. Could be an idea that you'd never thought about before. Think of coincidences, synchronicities. What if this or that would or could happen? Allow yourself to imagine it. And then, as you imagine all of these positive outcomes, surprises, possibilities, now we know that we're imagining these scenarios based on what we know possible, often based on our past experiences. But our imagination here stays limited into the paradigm of what we already know. So let's set an intention that we're willing to receive and welcome into our lives possibilities, opportunities that are way beyond the realm of what we are able to imagine right now. There is so much more possibilities in this universe. So let's set that intention that if and when an opportunity that looks very unfamiliar to us presents itself, that we will recognize it for what it is, that yes, it's an opportunity, and that we will welcome it into our lives, even though it's widely different from what we're used to already. So that way we're allowing ourselves to expand beyond the realm of our imagination currently. And it also means that we're detaching from knowing exactly how things might happen for us. So we are giving a license for more to the universe to provide. So just set that intention. Just say yes for yourself. When opportunities beyond what you've imagined so far present themselves, you will welcome them. And now let's bring our focus and attention back on how we're feeling. We've just imagined best possible scenarios, and our mind doesn't really know the difference between real or imagined. So how did that imagination make us feel? These imagined scenarios. So maybe you're feeling in a way that's very familiar. You can even put a name to it. Or maybe you're not quite sure how you're feeling, but you're feeling it in your body, sensations, impressions, feelings, emotions. It's there, even though you don't know which ones they are. So in any case, we're just going to now make them more palpable. So just imagine as if these sensations, these feelings, these emotions, as if they're flowing in and out through your heart with each breath. And that with each in-breath, with each inhale, it's as if you can feel them more intensely inside yourself, inside your body. As if they're filling up your tank, as if they're making the smallest parts of you tingle. Every time you breathe in, these sensations rushing through your heart into your body, and as if they're making all of your cells tingle. And then every time you breathe out, just imagine as if these sensations, these feelings, they're also radiating out very strongly from your heart. And they're radiating out into the space around you and especially right in front of you. As if they're like a flashlight illuminating the space in front of you. So when you breathe in, you can feel them more and more inside of you. And when you breathe out, you're radiating them out further and wider into the space in front of you. Every time you breathe in and out, making those feelings, sensations stronger and stronger with each cycle of breath. I'm going to invite you to bring your attention to the space in front of you, where you've been radiating it, where you have been radiating out those feelings and sensations. as if you're witnessing the light. You're witnessing the flashlight effect of these sensations radiating out from you into the space. And it's as if you're starting to notice something strange in the space in front of you. It's as if those sensations that have been flowing out from your heart, it's as if they're changing the texture of the space in front of you. And as you're looking at it in your mind's eyes, starting to notice that it looks like something is being created right there and then in the space in front of you, like a portal. Like suddenly it looks like a doorway is being shaped, created, carved out of thin air. It's like a doorway, a passageway, a portal with the texture of air looking different. And you're starting to realize that this is a space that you're going to be able to walk through. You're going to be able to walk through this portal, and on the other side of this portal, you know it in your guts that there lies a different version of reality, a different version of your timeline, a version that is perfectly aligned with your vision and your goals, a version where you have access to everything you need in order to get closer to your vision, to reach your vision, to align yourself with your vision. So now I'm gonna invite you to imagine that you're now standing up, taking a few steps towards the portal, putting one foot through the portal, and then the other foot through the portal. And now realizing you are on the other side, and you're noticing that straight away the portal closes behind you. And with the portal closing, all access to your past timeline has disappeared. The past is no longer accessible. It's only this new version of reality that is opening up in front of you. So just take a moment to enjoy, taking some deep breath, connecting with this new version of reality. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Every time you breathe in, you're connecting more and more with this new version of time and space. Every time you breathe in, it's like your whole body responds to this new reality like a tuning fork, vibrating, adjusting, tuning in. And every time you breathe out, maybe breathe out gratitude as this knowing that this has happened already, this is real. So you're grateful because it has happened already. And now as you're noticing your connection with the new here and now, the new reality, we are going to make sure that your whole system is strongly connected to this new version of the week, this new version of reality. And we're going to create an anchor so that if you need it at any time during the week, you'll be able to use that little reminder to remind your own body of the reality that it's in. And to do that is very easy. So just follow this instruction. So for now, just bring your thumb and index finger together on your right hand and press your fingers and noticing all of the sensations of your fingers touching. Press, 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 and notice the sensations. Thumb and index finger on the right hand. Perfect. And now do the exact same thing on the left hand. Thumb and index finger together. Press them together and notice all of the sensations of pressure between your fingers. Press, press, press. Notice the sensations. Perfect. And now let's do it both hands simultaneously. Press those fingers together and notice all the sensations. And now I want you to put equal amount of focus on each hand, putting the exact same amount of pressure between the fingers on the right and the fingers on the left, and trying to find that point of perfect equal pressure on the fingers on the right hand and the fingers on the left hand. And as your mind is focused on finding that point of balance and equilibrium, it is now 100% focused on the present. It is 100% focused on this new version of your reality. It has no choice but to accept being present in this new version of time and space for you. It is 100% present and has no choice but to release any grip it has on the past. It has no choice but to release anything that doesn't serve you moving forward onto this new version, into this new version of time and space for you. Your mind is 100% present. Your mind is 100% accepting of this new version of reality for you. And now every time that you might need to remind yourself of this path that you're on, this new reality, all you will need to do is bring your fingers together on both hands, press them together, looking for that point of equilibrium, and your body, mind, and psyche will instantly remember, instantly bring yourself back onto this version of time and space, onto this version of reality, with everything that it entails, your connections with opportunities and possibilities, your flow, your states of beings and ways of being that are aligned with your vision. So you can now release your anchor. Just know that at any time when you need it, that's what you need to do. Just bring your fingers together. And now we're going to slowly but gently bring ourselves back. Except now we are back in a new version of time, a new version of space. So rub your hands until they're warm. Place them at the top of your head, and now we're going to touch every part of our body as if we're reminding ourselves of the boundaries of our physical body. So starting from the top of the head down our face, our head, our scalp, our neck, our shoulders, all the way down our arms, squeezing every part. And then back at the top of the shoulders, this time touching the front of our body, our torso, abdomen, and then touching the sides of our body from under the armpit, following the rib cage down to the hips, and then back as much as we can at the back of our spine, touching as much of it as we can, all the way down the tailbone, and then from hips, thighs, knees, legs, and if we can, touching our feet, that's great. But if we can't touch our feet, no bother. Let's just press our feet into the ground again with this intention of grounding ourselves. And here for a moment, we can appreciate again this connection with the earth underneath and sending some loving thoughts to the earth, gratitude, thanking it for allowing our experience, our human experience, onto this plane of existence. And then once you've done all this, this is it. You can open your eyes when you're ready. And the only thing that's left for you to do is just go about the rest of your day and enjoy. Enjoy today, enjoy the rest of the week. And hopefully I'll see you next Monday for our next session. And bye everybody. Love you.